Hi everyone, this is Jolie and I am the founder and director of Canvas. I have been in this field facilitating well-being through movement, art and mindfulness since 2003 for children in all ages. So today we are here together to share our experience and stories about how our work can reduce stress and anxiety in our lives. So this is Man Sze Lam.
Hi, my name is Man Sze. You can also call me Man Sze Lam. So just a very quick background about me. So I've been a TCM physician for several years. So whereby I actually have been treating patients from all sorts of conditions, including improving overall wellness. So I myself, besides being a TCM physician, I'm also a co-founder for Grandma Lotus, whereby we sell TCM herbal tea that is catered for your different needs and different body constitutions. Yeah, in terms of TCM wise. So yeah, that's a bit of me, but of course I have other appointments, but I think I shouldn't elaborate so much. Yeah, because those are related with something with first aid related. Yeah. So so far right now I'm doing further study in PhD in acupuncture. So I'm still doing my further studies right now, and today I would like to share more about this how TCM actually can help in terms of improving our mental wellness, especially in this difficult times, this whole pandemic difficult times.
Yeah, so when we talk about stress, stress is basically in mindfulness is where we lose awareness about our mental and our emotional state. And our body as well comes to a place where we are overstretched or overworked. And I think for stress, it's probably a good thing if you are aware of it. But it is not a good thing if you are not aware of it and then you start compiling or putting more and more of these harmful stuff in your body, whether it's mental or emotional or like just working out too much.
Yes. Yeah. So in terms of TCM, right, stress, it comes in different forms. So stress is definitely will include in terms of negative emotions. So negative emotions includes agitations, anger, depression, and all this can also lead to different kind of medical conditions or even chronic conditions like chronic pain, insomnia, okay, and also poor in appetite. Now, all this actually in terms of TCM, it all boils down to the qi movement, the energy. In terms of we talk about qi, so the stagnation when all these are not moving properly, when we are feeling stress, these are whereby it start to get stagnant, it start to move irregularly as well. And when we talk about this whole qi movement, the whole regulations, it all boils down to the liver meridian. So in TCM, right, liver actually governs the regulation of the qi movement. So they are like the traffic police. So imagine our body is like the entire road system in Singapore. When there's come to a situation where it starts to get jammed up, what happens to people? People get angry, people get agitated. And same thing for our body. When it comes to jam up, it gets stagnated, it can affect a certain parts of the organs. And it's not just because of the liver, when the liver function is not functioning well, this qi movement will start get stagnated and affected different parts of the organs, like say for example, spleen. When it actually start to affect the spleen, that is whereby the persons do not able to have very poor appetite, or even can get to have all this kind of bloatedness in the stomach easily, or even for a very long time. So especially when it comes to stress, when we are so stressed, especially for the kids not just finish their PSL, some of them may even experience that kind of stress, and whereby they start to feel that, I need to go toilet, I have diarrhea. So this is actually related to spleen. How the qi stagnation in the liver meridian, it can affect the spleen. So that is one of the very obvious symptoms that it can lead. Another way is it can also lead to the kidney function. So your kidney is not functioning properly, what happens is they will tend to have urinations. So this is all about how the qi movement and the TCM medical literature, ancient literature has already have all this saying how the qi movement. So when the qi actually descends, it actually affects the urination. That is actually affecting the kidney. And so besides like even for heart, it can affect the heart. That is why when it comes to stress, we tend to have heart palpitations. Some people tend to feel like the heart pumping very hard and very hard to breathe. This is because the qi stagnation, it reaches to the heart level. So that's why. And as a result with that, it can lead to our mental stress, whereby we are not able to sleep well, we are not able to make decisions properly as well. So all this is, the heart is related to the brain, and all this, right, your cognitive functions is not working as well. And when you are not doing right decision, you get stressed at work, everything, all the external factor and the internal factor just come together. So that is why just with one simple, it may look very simple, a simple stagnation in the qi, it can eventually spark off the,
So how does a stagnation on one organ move to another organ, are you saying?
Yes, so it's like there's this always this meridian with our body.
Yes.
So there's like 12 main big major network, okay, meridian network, and all these are linked to different kind of organs like liver, heart, spleens, stomach, all this. So, and even the intestine, small intestine, all this. The 12 main vital organs from the TCM perspective. So that is why when they are all interconnected, they form a closed loop. It's very similar to Western medicine. They also have a closed loop. It's just that we don't talk about blood vessels, we don't talk about the nervous system, we talk about meridian. And this meridian that's where the traffic flows. It can because it's a traffic flow where qi flows, the blood flows, the water, the fluid also move. So it is like a representation of the lymphatic system, the nervous system, the blood system. So that is why when something just jam up the whole place. It can jam up different places as well.
So if I would have to try to process that, if my liver feels tight and it's not functioning because I stopped breathing normally, and then that tightness or that stagnant feeling would move maybe slowly to my stomach. And then it goes on.
It goes on. So that is why sometimes when we actually feeling the stress, you can feel the tightness, constipation, you can feel the tightness on the chest.
Heart palpitation.
Heart palpitation, or even a pain in the chest area. So there are times that we might thought we are having experienced symptoms of heart attack. And then when we went to the A&E, get a health check, I went for all the tests and diagnosis, and turned out that it's nothing related to your heart. All the tests, the laboratory tests, and even the clinical tests are all fine. But why is that so? Because it's all about the qi movement. And when qi movement doesn't move properly, it can lead to stagnation in the blood. And with stagnation in the blood, it can cause pain.
How does that work when it moves to the blood?
Because qi is like energy. So blood is basically, in terms of Western modern science, is red blood cells. It move along the same line, so along the same meridian route. So once it gets blocked up, your blood vessel, the qi, there's not enough energy, it starts to stagnation. So the blood vessels, all this, right, the blood cells will start to clog up. It's just like the cars along the traffic lights. So the cars are like the red blood cells. They just got stuck. The nutrients got stuck. So once it got stuck, everything just go haywire. There's not enough nutrients that is provided to the vital organs. So that is why all this, it can even cause inflammation later on.
I totally understand now, a little bit. But I think it's very much like going in depth to what you know, and bringing out some more knowledge into how TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, has so much ways of healing something. Through the food, through acupuncture, through cupping. What else is there?
Through there's a lot. So all this, even through exercise. So we also will mention about what kind of exercise is suitable for different person, individual body constitution. So not everyone is suitable to run, to go for marathon run, go for sprints. Not all is suitable. So like those who, especially who are, we call it the qi deficient, people who are qi deficient, when they get too tired, this is when we talk about qi deficient body constitution, that means they get tired easily. So it's just like their energy bar. By the end of the day, they only left like 10%. So if we continue to push them further, this 10% we're going to deplete it more.
Yes.
From a different point of view, it may help to up, but for this group of people with this Qi energy, they are already lacking energy. So the more you're going to exert and burn more calories, it doesn't lead to make them feel stronger, but actually weaker. And when they become weaker, they become more susceptible to different kind of diseases. So that is why when it comes to this group of body constitution, that's whereby we will advise that, for your body constitution is suitable for slow walks. You might even suitable for those low intensity exercises, like one of them is like yoga. So those if we talk about stress, those people who tend to feel stressed easily, they tend to be of those body constitution with qi stagnation. And we do have that. So those people who tend to have this qi stagnation body constitution, they tend to sign a lot. They tend to have all these different type of conditions like pains all around, chronic pains, I would say, even though they might be very young, or even though they have done all sorts of tests and nothing just turns out. So these are people who tend to feel this energy that's not flowing properly. And that is whereby when we come to advise on them in terms of doing exercise, yoga is one of the best ways to do it because it's slow. It actually helps with the whole how the qi move. It actually helps to push the qi better, but in a more gentle way rather than a more exert way. Yeah.
So it seems like what you do is really an in-depth assessment,
Yeah.
right, of all the stagnation,
Yes.
whether you have deficiency in qi, but do you have too much qi?
Oh yes, we can have too much qi. When this have too much qi, is caused what you call the chaos. And with this chaos, it doesn't flow properly. It's just going all over the place. Yeah. It's like when you're in the metal rock, then you see people just moving around all over the place. Yeah, it's chaos. So when there's chaos, our body is a system. It needs to flow systematically. There is a SOP to it. But when there's this kind of chaos going on, the vital organs are not getting insufficient nutrients because it's just going all over the place. So maybe I would say this person, maybe I would say with the liver is getting too much energy. That is whereby they get agitated easily. They get what we call this heatiness in the fire.
Right.
Yeah.
So
So
that's what I was thinking.
so that's whereby it starts to rise. They get more angry. They get angrier.
The rage, the
The
fury.
rage. Yeah, that's why. And when you want to calm them down, it's very hard to calm them down because they are up in the rage. The qi is such in a huge chaos. It's very hard for them to really fully calm them down. Or it takes a lot longer time to actually calm them down. Yeah, to stabilize them. Yeah.
Yes, to stabilize. Yeah. I guess a lot of the work that we both do and what I would add on is to find that inner balance and harmony.
Yeah.
And to find that harmony, or what yoga is about, to unite the mind, the body, and the spirit. And the
Yes.
spirit, you can call it the awareness, or the emotional awareness, where you understand how you're feeling as you're feeling it.
Yeah.
And you're not just reacting with a feeling, but you are observing it and
Yes.
feeling the feeling
Correct.
and noticing and exploring the body sensations.
Yes. Correct.
Then you can be kind of like a master,
Yeah.
understanding
Yes.
like an inner balance, right?
Yes.
A holistic,
Yeah.
more holistic approach in
Yes.
understanding vitality, good health. And
Yeah.
when we are talking about stress, I think we wanted to talk about sleep deprived.
Yeah, so it's really very worrying that especially this whole pandemic is actually increasing. There's this statistically, I mean, all of us have already seen, the news has been reporting that there is an increasing statistic of people that's lacking in sleep, experiencing insomnia. So from TCM perspective, one is it's all about the qi stagnation. The stress has gone up. When stress has gone up, T stagnation has been more severe, and with that, there's not enough sufficient blood that is flowing towards the brain, flowing towards the heart. Because from a TSM perspective, is that all this sleeping disorder is something to do with the malfunctioning of the heart. But we are not talking about the Western science kind of heart, how it functions. But from TCM, right, heart actually has a way of nourishing the blood, okay, providing nourishment to the brain, and that is whereby it actually helps us to have this kind of calmness in the body. And without this calmness in the body, we are not able to sleep well. So that is why it's that's why it's very worrying that during this whole pandemic, there's so many people experiencing sleep. So even for like my Grandma Lotus, we noticed there's a lot more customer actually ordering teas that is helping you sleep. It's a lot. And so I was like, oh dear, so poor thing. Yeah. So that's why
I think it's a very difficult thing to learn to let go these days.
Yes.
The letting go is often hard to do, you know, because we have so little time, so much more to do, but actually very little to do. So the kind of things that we are doing is mainly caused by worry, caused by thinking about, you know, how our family's doing, friends, how our job, you know, we're just all worrying and we're doing out of a worry.
Correct.
So because of that, it becomes also a very tiring place and a very slow space to be in. You are like doing it not because you're happy, but you're doing it because you think, I'm going to lose if I don't.
Yes. So that's why when we talk about worry, interestingly, is that in TCM, worry is actually related to the spleen. So
because you did say, which I really loved, is qi is emotions.
It is like it's part of it. So it regulates emotion. So we have in TCM they have like 5 basic emotions, and all those emotions we cannot experience any form of excessive or even lacking.
What are the 5?
Actually, happiness is one of them, and too much happiness actually can affect the heart as well. That's why when you're mentioning it, that you have to stabilize at a neutral state. So actually, happiness cannot be too happy as well. So you have to strike a nice balance to it. Sadness, worry, anger, and fear. And I believe this whole pandemic is causing a lot of fear, and with that, it's really affecting the kidney. Fear is related to kidney, and we worry a lot. So it's affecting our spleen. Now, spleen, in terms of spleen, is something to do with our digestive system. We can either eat a lot or we can eat less. So I think for Singapore, they tend to eat a lot more because with all the different bread food and also sorts of different kind of bakery stuff. So interestingly, actually, during this whole pandemic, people are putting on weight, especially for kids. That's why I noticed there's a few patients who are of children. They actually put on weight. So it's very worrying also because they're not getting enough energy. They're not getting enough activities to actually move around to burn the energy, to burn the calories within. So that's one. And then sadness. Sadness is something to do with the lungs. Because they cry, everything. So this pandemic can also cause of that. Too much sadness can hurt the lungs, and too much sadness hurt the heart. And too much anger hurts the liver. So this means
wow. That's really, really interesting, and how you can actually connect emotions with qi. And I love that we could do a very quick scan. And to really scan through those spaces, the liver for anger.
Yes.
The heart for happiness.
Yes.
I agree. The spleen for
worry.
The kidneys for fear.
Yes.
And the last one
is lungs for sadness.
Lungs for sadness.
Yes. So interestingly, if you notice, right, when we are sad, we cry, and when we cry, some of us will. You're exacerbating using a lot of lungs capacity. So when we cry too much, when we cry for over a long period of time, you will notice that you start to gasping for air. And gasping for air is actually something to do with the respiratory system, which is our lungs.
And which is interesting because you said lung is for sadness, but also anger.
Anger is liver.
Liver,
Yes.
right.
So that's why in Chinese, right, they always like to say 怒伤肝. That means when anger will hurt the liver. So that's why some of them will say 肝火. That means the liver, the fire in the liver.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yes.
Let's go through a scan and let's try to give you some practical tips on how you can manage stress and also sleep better. And I think it takes awareness and also bring a little bit more of your attention, your priority to focus inwards, to focus on yourself first, to invest in self-care. That few minutes will help you to reboot and get more energy. And I will show you how to just go through those steps, and I will follow what Man Sze Lam has explained, and we'll hold space in those organs. And then she will also show you with some other tips that we can share today. So let's start with the heart. Hands on the heart space, and it's not the physical heart, but you can touch the physical heart too, but I like it in the middle of the chest. And you can just start to feel with your chest rising up to your hands and bring some awareness. Feel the sensation of your chest on your hand. Notice how it feels. Notice the rising and the falling of your breath. Start to notice the pace and the rhythm of your heartbeat. Start to notice your thoughts. Take a nice inhalation from your waist up to the hand. Breathe it slowly up, up, up. Hold the breath. And breathe it down, slowly falling the breath all the way down from the chest, softening the hands, softening the chest with the hands, and the belly softens. Let's do it 2 more rounds, very gentle and slow breathing in, feeling the breath in, rising all the way up from your chest to the heart, from the heart to the hands. And as you gently breathe out, the hands gently presses into the heart space, softening the rib cage, softening the belly. Pause for a moment before you take the next inhalation. Breathing in fully, fill up your entire waist, up to the hands, up to the shoulders. Imagine there's a string above your head pulling you up, up, up. Hold the breath for a moment, close your eyes if you're not. And then breathing out, gently pressing your hands into the heart space. And notice, any kind of nervousness, excitement, dissipating, gently melting, sinking away, along with your bones, down to the ground. Let the ground take everything. And then take a nice clean inhalation, a cleansing breath. Feel the spaciousness between your ribs, around your hands, around your fingers. Feel the lift of your heart now, like a smile across the chest. You can gently open your eyes. So there's a quick little scan on the heart space. Physical heart is here, and for the yoga, the heart space is from the belly to the thumb, and the thumb right here to the throat. So right in the center, navel, from the throat down, right here, we consider it as a heart space.
Do you know that for TCM, that is one of the acupuncture points, which is called Taitung.
Taitung, okay.
So this area is just nice. That's whereby we actually would always recommend people to do, like when you actually have this kind of tight anxiety or breathlessness, you can actually massage this area.
And it's a bit sore.
Yes, so and especially just now you were indicating this whole region, this is the meridian which called the Ren meridian. So the Ren meridian is whereby the yin energy flows through. So it actually helps actually. So it actually, that's why there's so much related. That's why I was like, you were talking about that, I was like, oh my gosh, that is acupuncture. So actually you can do that as well. So actually with if you actually have this, it actually really helps a lot. So you don't have to really go and press on it. You can actually use this method. It helps also.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
So actually, like just
Yes,
now,
yes.
the center part of the breast. So that is what we call the Taitung. So you can
Taitung.
actually even use like all this like lavender to just like apply on it and then just rub.
Okay.
Yeah, just rub.
So what will happen when you rub into that space?
So it's supposed to feel a little bit of very mild, soft.
Yes, it does.
Especially, of course, as of us right now, we may not be feeling that kind of effectiveness because we are not experiencing that kind of symptoms, anxiety or even tightness on the chest. But when you do that, you can actually press, and sometimes you can press and hold. And at the same time, if you want to, you can also, what you do, incorporate the breathing techniques that just now you taught and do the same. It actually helps as well because what you are doing just now is to expand the lungs capacity. And then at the same time as you expand, because just now yours is placing. So here from TCM you can actually press and hold. And just let the pressure presses it in. And then when you then release. So you can actually do the same if you want to
with the acupuncture point.
With the acupuncture point.
That's lovely.
Yes.
I think that is so nice when we see that everything is interconnected.
Yeah.
And especially when we have like all paths lead the same way, with the hands holding space, with the finger pointing to the acupuncture point. For, I would say with the acupuncture point, it really focuses on a strain, that you might be really holding in, and it really gives you this awareness that, ooh, hang on a minute, there's something here.
Yeah.
And then when you're holding it, you really want to bring in more emotional awareness.
It's like hugging yourself.
Yeah, and I think, you can even squeeze your hands and your body. I just did this wonderful meditation when we wake up in the morning.
Okay.
What do? In the morning, usually we look at our devices and we check our messages. And I think it's such a nice way to think about in the morning, how would you like to wake up to a new day? Do you want to wake up to just checking your work and then following your day with all your work duties? Yeah. Or can you try to touch your body and squeeze certain parts of the body just to feel present in the body?
Feel the moment.
Yeah, and you can choose to focus on the heart happiness, the liver anger, the lungs for sadness, and so on and so forth, right? And I think by bringing more awareness and prana or chi into the organs, we can experience a lot more, I think, mind-body experience, like a harmonious kind of well-being.
Yeah. Correct. So of course, so just moving over. So it's like from TCM perspective, in terms of whenever you are feeling that kind of stress. So besides the Taitung, which helps with your breathing, another way is what we call the Nei Guan. So Nei Guan is this meridian towards the heart as well. So you will notice, right, all these are all related to the heart, and because all this are related to it. So one of the easy way to actually measure is actually put about from the wrist about three fingers up. Okay, it's actually in between these two tendons. Okay, if you actually hold it, there's like two very obvious tendons. So the acupuncture point is just right in the middle here. So what you can do, sometimes I would recommend is like if you're feeling stressed, lavender is one of the good essential oil to use it. So it's a very good thing to just like just tap on it, just a bit that. You can do that if you want to. Just drink. Okay, and massage this area. So you press and hold. At the same time, when you press and hold, you massage. Doesn't matter in which direction first, because what I want you to do to make it less complicated. So just massage. Sometimes you can just after massaging, rotate. Okay, for 10 rounds, you can just press and hold, and you feel it. So there's a bit of numbness, soreness. Okay. Now, when you press, right, try not to use your fingertip, your nails to press it inwards, but just the side, the tip of the muscle, the thumb. Just press it in and then release, and then you can continue massage. this way. So this is another acupuncture points to actually helps you when it comes to when you're having any form of anxiety, tightness in the chest or breathlessness. Because sometimes when you get really stressed, you find yourself breathing, have this shallow or even this conscious breathing.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is where you can actually press here and your Taitung. Another one is
I must say that when you are pressing on for a while and releasing it, it's almost like a sense of like a relief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it actually helps as well. So of course, if you don't have essential oils, that's fine.
So are these acupuncture points?
These are acupuncture points. These are acupuncture points.
So what are acupuncture points?
What are these?
Yeah, what is acupuncture?
Okay, so acupuncture points, they are like what we call the bus stops along the meridian network. So all this meridian network, when we actually press on it, it will stimulate the qi movement towards this area. So that is why, these are the few points whereby they have the higher efficiency to actually achieve the effect. Yeah, so that is why Neiguan is one of them that helps in terms of when we're having any form of breathlessness.
Like a reflection.
Yeah.
Neiguan.
Yes, Neiguan. So another one is what we call the Taitung. So Taitung is one of the very commonly used, which is along the liver meridian. So just now we were talking about the liver meridian, right? Oh, so okay. So where is Taitung is, right? Is actually just right in the center, just after the connecting points. So it's right here. So when you press on it, there's this numb sensation. So same thing, you can also use you can just use this, and then you can just massage. So sometimes what you can do is use this, just use your hand to massage and you can press along this region. Press and hold. So this area, besides it have a very great, good stress reliever, it also helps with your sleep. Yeah. So this is I would say it kills two birds with one stone. So you can even use like all this kind of like if you have all these plates like gua sha plates, right? You can even do it and I use it. So I just use it. Once you apply, okay, you can press. You can just massage. Doesn't matter in which direction first. Just press and go along this meridian. So actually, what you're doing, right? You're already pressing two meridians, actually, two acupuncture points. One is Taitung, another one is what we call the Xingjian. Yeah. So actually, so you can just go along this meridian network, this part of the meridian network, and just keep pressing, just massage. Okay. Usually, you don't need to use such a lot of force, but enough to actually form a certain redness around this region. So main thing, don't cause yourself abrasion. Yeah. So you can do it even slowly or faster. It's actually alright. You can just do it at a very moderate pace. Okay. So this is what you can do. Yeah. So all this right can actually helps with relieving your stress and also help with your sleep. Another one is if you want to help with your sleep, Neiguan is actually another one actually. Yeah, so actually all this is all combination because in terms of TCM, when your when you're feeling stressed, you are not able to sleep well as well. So all these acupuncture points, it becomes like a double, it helps with all these two conditions. So another one is of course what we call the Bai Hui, which is actually just right at the tip, right at the top here. So this area, at the same time, you can just press. So
that's what we do in yoga as well.
Yeah, is it?
Yes. We focus a lot on this point here. So even in the morning, we actually put some oil here as a way of awakening this
that's
space.
very good. Yeah. So you
or
can
a lot of headstands.
Yeah.
They think it's an asana, but it's actually to press this whole area here. So that your body, your blood is stimulating all the way back to this
so it's
called Bai Hui. Right?
Yeah. Also, it's not doing for fun now. Okay.
No. It's actually a meditation pose.
Okay. So now I know. So now I know more. Okay, I didn't know. Okay. Oh yeah. So basically, really, this Bai Hui is one of the acupuncture point along the yang meridian, the Du Mai, the gamma
all these
vessel.
points feels a bit sore.
Yeah. So wherever we
Why?
feel sore, we call it. Okay, one is because of the sensory that is present in the body. From the TC point of view, is because all this will stimulate what we call the qi. It's like really like a tap or even a bus stop. You reach to that point, that is where the qi comes in.
Yeah,
so
I'm
it's
just very
stimulating
curious. Why is it here and not here? It's just a
right.
small difference, and I don't feel anything here. But right there,
Yeah.
where you explain, it feels exactly.
Yeah. That's
You
the
know, that's
point.
the crown of the head.
Correct,
We should
correct.
call it
Oh, you okay? Yeah.
the
So
crown chakra.
crown chakra.
Yeah,
Okay.
the
that's
energy
interesting.
point.
Oh yeah, that's quite cool. Okay. Yeah. So this is called 百会. So
百会.
百会 is whereby we actually energy. Yeah. So yeah, just start like that. Okay, you can do that. That's even better. Okay, but anyway, yeah. So 百会 is actually about boosting the yang energy. But then again, it also helps to open up.
Yes.
It calms the mind as well.
Yes.
So that is why when it comes to unable to sleep, right, you can press
Yes.
this 百会. But of course, right, actually
It's for
if-
the brain activity,
it's
for the
help to
yoga.
calm the
Yes.
brain activity. So
Yes.
it helps you to think clearer. It also
Yes.
helps you to sleep better.
Yes.
It's a dual function.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Very interesting. So
And
actually,
how yoga poses
yeah.
are actually connected to this.
Yes. That's
Because we
why-
always do like poses in the headstand or even this pose here.
Oh yeah, I did this before. Okay, I didn't know this. Okay.
So it's always more like a meditation.
So actually, you don't have to
Idea,
press.
folding.
Just.
You can use yoga poses to engage into the acupuncture
Yes,
points. isn't
exactly.
it?
So
Yeah.
actually, yeah, that's why it's so amazing that whatever this relationship between yoga and acupuncture and TCM is so much. There's this close relationship to it. Yeah, it's just the terms that it's used
Yes,
differently.
I
Really,
agree.
the terms. Yeah. So yeah, that's why you can press this. Or some of us, right, we can use a tap.
Exactly.
So it's actually basically what you're doing, pressing or tapping is helping with the stimulating the qi flows and also the blood flows to around. So that is why you can actually use with your nighttime, you can use the lavender. Then in the day, you want to have a clearer mind, you can even use the ginger or orange. All this, right, it actually helps to boost up the energy up. Yeah, so that's why it actually helps a lot. Yeah. There's of course I have others acupuncture pressure. Another one is one of the common one is what we call the 合谷. Yeah. So 合谷, right, is basically next to the second index finger. So one easy way to locate is at this part. So you have this thumb. Okay, just press along here. So it's very close to the
Index.
the bone. Yeah, index finger, the bones here. So when you press on it, what I can recommend is you place the index finger underneath just to form a base, okay, to push up the muscle here. So it's very fleshy part. So you're not pressing on bone, but you're pressing next to the index finger bone. Okay, so you press on it, there's this sore feeling. So this part actually helps with your sleep as well. And also, right, this one also helps you to waken up. Yeah. So all this, right, we actually combine all this acupressure, right, it can also help you to, in terms of relieving your stress and also helping to improve your sleeping condition as well. Yeah. So
That's
you do
really
it every night.
interesting.
Yeah. So this one you can also do the same lavender or even this. Yeah. And this part, because this meridian is along the what you call the big intestine in meridian, so it actually also helps with constipation as well. Yes, with the stomach. Yeah, with
So
the
stomach,
intestines. Yeah.
stomach, intestines,
Yeah.
digestive system.
The digestive system. So so even if you want to use this to just gently scrape or press, you can do the same as well. Or you can from here all the way up. You can do the same thing. Using oil, you can do, or if not without using oil, you can also do the same. Yeah.
And what is really powerful is to understand that these acupuncture points are available and accessible any time of the day
Yeah.
for us to actually really bring upon a sense of well-being, a sense of self-care, and even more powerful is that you can bring in a positive affirmation, that I am calm, I am loved, I am abundant, I am peaceful, I am contented, I am grateful for you being here. And then just learning to be more aware of all these parts of the body that actually comes together, almost like we are working together to make this unity as functional, as well as when it's functional, then we can actually go about really giving our best.
Yeah.
And when we are unwell, we also know acutely to understanding probably an emotion or what chi has been distilled.
Correct.
So thank you so much.
You're welcome. I actually learned a lot. I didn't know that is actually how this is very interesting. So
Yeah, we work a lot on the digestive, respiratory,
yes,
and then also of course sleep is one of the very big thing in yoga. But mainly put, all the acupuncture points, for me it's been eye-opening. It's been so nice to know like all these little points. So we hope that you guys will actually get the same benefits from us. I think knowing that she is a Chinese doctor and for me as a practitioner for many years, we have still so much to learn. So never ever think you know enough.
Oh yeah, we never know enough.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's why learning is so fun.
It is. It's all linked and all it takes is practice.
Yes.
So practice and all is coming. We wish you a wonderful time ahead of you. Thank you.